Hello everyone and welcome back to Hemel-Down Model Railway. So today's video is all about what I've been doing to add a little bit more detail to the layout. So what I'm going to do is show you a little speeded up version of some of the works that I've been doing, and then we'll have a closer look at some of the finished bits that I've been doing, and then also I'll show you a few new additions to the layout and my future plans for the next update. So this is a little bit of progress on this section. What I've done is to make a little bit of grass down there where there'll be sort of a path just next to it in there, and then that will kind of be fenced off. I've started to blend in where the path is. I've added some more muds in down here, so where there's a bit of a walkway, and blended that tree in. I've added in a bit of bushing at the back there. It's up in that wall. I've static grassed this section. This path is now, this little roadway here is now dry, and this will be a little area for sort of back gardens. And then this bit is still wet, but this is where I've done similar sort of style to that. It's just to add in 2 types of ballast, a little bit of brown acrylic over the top, and just stuck down with PVA. And that's just going to be a little sort of car space for the back and the side of the bakery there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some more polyfiber to create those style bushes that you see at the back there, and then bring that all the way along at the back of this piece here, just to kind of blend all of that in. And then that's the main part of the detailing done for that section. I'll then be able to add in the houses and get those wired up eventually. So here we go with some of these in place. I've obviously not wired in the building yet, and that's why it's all these wires are hanging out here. And I've still got to finish off doing some of the buildings at the back here, but it's a long process, but they're coming together quite nicely. You see a little alleyway down in between the 2 buildings there, and then there'll be a little sort of space at the back there. So whilst this section is drying, I'm going to go through a little bit of a walk this morning. I noticed when I've been catching the bus and trains to work, the back end of the village where I live, there's a little war memorial, and because with it being Remembrance Day, I thought I'd just go up, kind of pay my respects anyway, and have a little look. So it's a cold and wet Friday morning, but I've come up to the village where I live, and they've got this little war memorial, Least We Forget. Got this nice little bench. So what I thought I'd do is incorporate some sort of war memorial into my layout as well. So let me show you what I've got. So this is the item that I got, and it's from Any Miniatures. I just got it off of eBay, and it's a little 3D printed war memorial, which I thought was a really nice touch. I do like going to see little memorials and stuff and little monuments. I do always tend to go over and have a little look, whether I'm just sort of visiting villages or if I go on holidays and stuff. I do tend to go and see quite a few of these things, and because I've had family that have served in the war as well, I thought that this would be a nice little touch to go on the layout as well. So what I'm thinking is maybe sort of it'll be up on this section here or something. I'm going to paint it up in some sort of stone effects. I'm also going to sort of chip away a little bit of the straight edges and stuff, as look like it's been there for quite a few years, and kind of blend it all in on the background as well. So that's one of the little additions that's been added to the layout. So hopefully in the next update you'll see that all painted up and blended and put into place. This is what I'm going to use for my road texture. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos on using some of this, so I'm going to put a thin base down on here, and then because it's quite a flat surface, I'm going to sort of trowel in some cracks, sort of cut into it before it dries, and then just spread it all down in here. But until I've done all the pathways and stuff, I'm not going to add those, because I've still got to do all my curbstones and everything in there. And then what I'll do is just masking tape off to the sides, and then spread some of this down in through the middle as well. And then what I'll do is do a few little patches where there could be some new bits of road and stuff, and then I'll just try and weather down depending on how dark it dries or how light it dries. And I'll just add some more textures and stuff just to make it look like it's a little bit of an older road. So another little addition is a set of these BR Mark 1 Suburbans, and I've got a set of a rake of 4 of these just to go round on my heritage line as well. And I've decided to take the plunge and do a little bit of weathering. So what I'm going to do, I've got a few old Hornby LMS carriages that I'm going to do a little bit of practice in, just a light little bit of weathering sort of on the edges here, picking out a little bit of the door frame detail and doing some of the roofing. So that's probably going to be in a couple of weeks or so, but I'll post up some pictures and show you what those look like in the future videos or future updates that I do. And maybe you could just give me some of your thoughts and feedback, because it will be a practice at first. I've not done any weathering on models. I've only ever done kind of rust weathering and stuff on buildings, for example, and then obviously now starting to do some on the pathways. So it'll be something new that I'm kind of venturing into and doing a little bit on actual models itself, but I've got a few old ones, like I say, and I'll do some practices on those. So obviously these vans here, they're very pristine and looking like they're just out the factory. What I have got is some panel line accent colour, and I'm going to start to do a little bit of panel lining on some of these vehicles, and once I've practiced a little bit of weathering on other models, I'm going to do some of these as well, just to make the wheels look a little bit dirty and sort of grubby. And this one here is going to turn into a bakery van, so I'm going to get some little decals or some water slide transfers just to go on the back there, and then that will be a Drew's bakery van, which will then match the name for the Drew's bakery on this section here. You might notice the little bit of different colour blue in there. That's where I've just weathered down some of the wood, just to make it, you know, look like a slightly older building, just to kind of match the brickwork there as well. But that also will have in white writing Drew's bakery on the top there as well. So as you can see now, I've done a lot more of the pathway. I've also added in the edging stones, or the curb stones, down here. They're still a little bit wet, but I'm now down to the back end of the layout there. I think it's definitely made a difference by weathering the stones down. I think that's looking quite nice. Right, so that's pretty much it for this update. It was only a short one because I'm now off from work, so I'll be back up here to do 3 days filming and work on the layout. And covered in the next video, I'll be showing you how I do the road, and then also continuing the pathway that I've just started down on this section here. And then what I'll be doing then is hopefully finishing off the rest of these houses and getting the lighting in. So I was hoping to get all of the lighting in, but it's just taken a little bit longer because it's taken so long to get these paths in and to make sure that they're fully dry, because obviously I'll have to tip this board up again to get underneath and do all the wiring. So a little bit more work will continue on the housing to get those finished, and then hopefully I can get those wired up for the next layout update. So thanks very much for joining. I would like to say a big thank you to all those people that have subscribed to my channel recently. The channel seems to be going from strength to strength, and I'd also like to thank the people that are following me on Patreon and get to see some behind the scenes content before I upload onto YouTube. So thank you very much for joining, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.